praise him. This is your man Raleighall and what's cooking? What's cooking? It's fresh fruit galette. And you are in for a treat this episode. It's Women's Month, and we're here to actually honor the women as well as celebrate them right here on What's Cooking. So for our guest chef today, what? We have Chef Jen Kim. Come on, give it up. Raise the roof, raise the roof. I hear you. Come on. Yo, thank you so much for being here.
So glad to be here today.
Oh, thank you, Jen. I'm so ecstatic. We're all ecstatic about the dessert we're going to have with our frosting, and we're going to keep it a secret for now. However, Chef Kim is here to give us the best of delicious dessert. So, what are we doing today?
So today we're gonna make a fresh fruit galette. So basically it's a pie. The great thing about this is you don't need a pan. You can make it, it's free-form pie. It's very versatile. You could put, as you can see here, lots of different fruits. You can also make it savory. So this is one of my favorite dishes. It's a dish that we've sold at many restaurants, and you serve it with a little bit of ice cream, we serve it with a little whipped cream, and it's just really delicious, and it's a great way to showcase fresh fruits that are in season. You could, like I said, make it with cheese, you can make it with caramelized onions, and it's just a really great recipe.
Now, I like how you had shown me earlier that we can actually make this as a free-formed type of dough bread, right? So, and then you could fill it however you can. And like she said, it's better to choose those fruits that are in season to make it just the more delightful. So I'm ready to get at it. What about you?
Cool. So I'm just gonna grab the butter and water out of the fridge because you definitely want these recipes, these ingredients to be as cold as possible when you're ready to work with them, okay?
All right, so while she's grabbing that, I want to shout out some of the birthdays this month. What? I want to shout out everyone that's having a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, back to the regular scheduled program. So go ahead, Chef Kim.
Okay, so Chef Riley, you're gonna help me here. You see here we have a food processor. So this is a really easy recipe, which is why I love it so much as well. So it's great if you have a food processor, but if you don't, you could do it by hand. But today we're gonna show you how to make a really good flaky pie crust pie dough in a food processor. Okay, so you could take off the top, right? So here we have 1 cup and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Just throw that right in there. And then you're gonna do 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar.
Regular granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon. Got that.
And then it's salt. We're gonna just do just a sprinkle into, you could go right into the bowl, right? You always wanna add a little bit of salt into pastries because it really helps to bring the sweetness and the flavors come together a lot better when you put salt into sweet items. So this is 1 stick of butter, very cold, cut up. You could put that in there.
Oh wow, the bowl is even cold.
Yeah, you really want cold butter. It would even help to put it in the freezer.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna take this out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
All right. So once you have those in the food processor, put the top on. So here, I'm gonna have you press pulse on and off. You don't wanna let it go. You don't wanna press on and just let it go. You wanna press on and off. It might get a little messy. It might fly out a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. That's perfect. So you don't want to grind down the butter all the way. You want to have slightly smaller than pea-sized pieces, okay?
Right.
But it's all mixed up now. Okay. Now you're going to put in 3 tablespoons of very, very cold water.
Are we going to pulse it as you do?
We're going to pulse it as we do it, okay? Again, on and off, on and off.
Now, are we listening for something or looking at it?
So if you see it's coming together, you want it to come together a little more, but you don't want to get together too much, okay? The machine is going to start going dum 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 because the dough. Perfect. That's perfect. There you go.
Wonderful.
It's the perfect dough. You're going to get like a few like chunks like this, right? You're going to take the middle out. Okay.
That is awesome.
Right?
You see that?
One of the best, easiest ways you can make a quick pie dough. And the great thing about this, it keeps really well in the freezer. If you have a party coming up in like a month or something, you just want to get ahead, you know, make this dough, wrap it up, just put it in the freezer and you're good to go. Okay? There you go. And another really great thing about this is you can make little ones. So if you don't want one big pastry and you want individual ones, you can use this dough and cut it into pieces and then roll it out so that you have individual size little pies. That's how we did it in the restaurant industry. And then we would have that served on a plate by itself. But here today we're gonna show you how to do it in a big shell. So you're gonna have this dough and you're gonna wrap it in plastic wrap. You don't wanna use it just yet. You want it to get cold a little bit first. Okay, thank you. Just want to wrap it in plastic and you want to put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour. You really want it to get cold before you roll it out. Okay, there you go.
Move this out our way. Put this to the side and chef.
So we have this dough that we made an hour ago and it's been chilled, so it's cold. The dough has rested. Okay, and then now we're going to roll it. We're going to use a little bit of all-purpose flour. And Chef, would you like to roll it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna put a little bit of flour in the bottom, not too much. A little bit over the top. And let's roll it about, try to keep it as round as possible. Okay. And let's try to roll it almost to the size of the paper.
All right, to all my men out there who's got the guns, what? And we're rolling it out flat, right?
Yep, you're gonna roll it out flat, and then while you roll it, you wanna pick up the dough. Okay. And then pick it up every now and again. Like this.
Ah, right. I see, an even roll. I get it.
And then pick it up again.
That's
yeah, so that it keep it round, right?
Keep it round.
It's looking good.
I love this.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, you do it because when you're in the restaurant, I don't have someone picking up my dough for me.
Wow.
You can add a little bit more flour.
Okay. And the flour keeps it together as well as...
Keeps it from not sticking to the bottom, basically, yeah. And you don't want to add too much flour, you know, because then you're altering the recipe, the actual product, you know. So you want to just add just as much flour as you need, kind of.
So now we'll be able to like roll up the ends or fill it in or what have you? Yep,
we're going to fill it with the fruit today. And like I said, you could... When we made the dough in the food processor, at that point you could have added herbs, you could have added thyme, you could add, I like to add lemon, you could have added rosemary, sage, and then it'll make it a savory tart dough shell. And then you could have, you know, filled it with cheese and caramelized onions and made it meaty if you wanted. But today we're gonna fill it with fruit. I'll do it really fast, right? So you want it to be a little bit thinner. Okay. You want it to be a little thinner because then the bottom won't bake very well if it's not thin enough on the bottom, if it's too thick.
Gotcha.
Right, because when you put all the stuff on it, it kind of stops baking on the bottom a little bit. All right, this is looking pretty good. All right. Okay, great. Looks great.
Wow, we're in the pizza business all of a sudden.
Okay, so here I have a little bit of almond flour, and then here I have regular flour. And this is a mixture of cinnamon, sugar, and lemon zest. You can put the lemon zest, I think it tastes really nice with the addition of lemon zest. You could also put orange zest. You know, you could put nutmeg, but this is cinnamon, sugar, and lemon zest. So we're gonna start here. We're gonna put a little bit of almond flour here. And this is to soak up the moisture that the fruits are going to create once they come on, right? Because if it's too wet, then the bottom will get too soggy, right?
Gotcha.
The sugar is for flavor. Because it's another thing that's great about this, if you don't want to add a lot of sugar, as you saw there was only 1 tablespoon of sugar in the dough, you can add no sugar if you want, really, you know, and just make it only fruit and just let the natural sweetness of the fruit sweeten the dessert. This is flour, and again, this is all just to soak up the moisture that's going to come from the fruit. Okay, and this is the fun part. We're gonna make the design of the fruit on here. Okay, we're gonna put the fruit, you're gonna leave a little ledge here because you'll see we're gonna fold it over, and that's kind of gonna be like our pan. You know, that's what's gonna keep it in, sort of.
Okay, good.
You know? These are just apples that we prepped before.
Yeah, I mean, to watch this chef with her Ginsu skills is definitely the price of admission, let me tell you. She's good with the, you know, cutlery stuff.
Yeah, prep is, you know, a really big part of working in a kitchen.
Yep.
You know, it's not like the restaurant opens and you just, that's when you start working. You know, there have been people working there for hours before getting the, you know, ingredients ready.
Sure.
So being ready is like really an important part of the kitchen life.
Now, what kind of apple is this?
So this
it's
is
like perfect.
A Galette.
Symmetric. Yeah,
this was a Galette apple. They were like kind of really small, so I purchased them like that because I wanted them to fit perfectly, you know, into this Galette. But you know, most apples bake well, so whatever apples you have, it's great. Okay.
Now, this is a real delicacy. You know, ladies and gentlemen, that I am a grill kind of master, and this here, I can see she's already been working 8 hours before she gets in the kitchen to get this done. So hats off to all you mamas and women who really know how to whip it up in the kitchen. That's what's cooking.
Okay, so that's that. We're gonna have a little butter here. So you're gonna brush some butter here.
All right, so now we have our melted butter. Regular margarine.
Unsalted, regular butter. Again, this you can leave out if you want to keep your dessert a little bit healthier. Of course, it's going to make it a lot more delicious with the butter, right? But, you know, it's not, because the natural juices from the fruit will make the dessert moist, you know? But again, this will make it much, much more delicious, as we all know, right?
Yeah.
And then here, I'm going to add a little bit more sugar because for me, I like a little bit more sugar in my desserts. But this is another thing you can leave out, right? So this will cook into the fruit.
So now that's the cinnamon.
Right, cinnamon, sugar, and lemon zest. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna fold it in, and this will act as our pan, right? This is what's gonna keep it in here, keep all the fruit juices in. And this is what's great about working on paper, because this would be hard to turn if we didn't have the paper, right?
Gotcha.
So now we just easily turn the paper.
Nice.
And then here, again, we're gonna brush the outside with butter. And this is gonna give it like a nice shine when it bakes, when it's done baking.
Nice. Reminds me of like, you know, the pretzels I would get in Coney Island or...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Butter makes everything better. And then here, we're gonna sprinkle sugar, but I'm not gonna use that sugar. I'm gonna use the regular white sugar.
Okay.
Just because it'll just look a little bit more, it won't be as dark looking. It's gonna be just like a lighter color when it bakes. Otherwise, the dark cinnamon sugar color will make it look dark. And then you're not gonna really be sure if it's fully baked or not, because the dark cinnamon will make it look like it's more baked than it actually is. Right, so the white sugar will just make it easier to tell if it's ready or not. Okay, and that's ready to go. We're gonna put it in this pan, but before we bake it, and I know we all don't have that much space in our refrigerators, but it'd be great if you could find space in the freezer, if you could, and just let this chill for about 30 minutes to an hour, right? You wanna put it in the fridge or the freezer preferably, and then it's ready to bake. At our home ovens, probably between 375 and 400 would be good. It took about an hour and 10 minutes for me at my house in my oven, right? So you want to check on it just for color. That's how you're going to be able to tell. You can also poke the apples. If they're cooked or not, they'll be soft. But 375 to 400 would be better. 350 is just, it's going to be too low. Like the butter is going to come out of the tart dough.
Before it cooks.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. So higher is better. If you feel like it's cooking too fast, you can also bring the temperature down, but you do want to have that blast of heat in the beginning. 375, 400, depending on your oven. If you know your oven runs kind of cold, then go higher. Okay, so this we're going to just throw it in the freezer.
Wow, that's really chilled. So it's been almost just about an hour.
1 hour in the freezer, yep.
Okay, cool. So let's get it to the heat.
Let's go.
Whoa, careful. Nice. And that's how it's done. Go on, go on, go on. That's right.
Hey Riley, I just wanted to pop in and say thank you for my apron. I'm so glad I got the question right and was able to win the weekly prize of my apron for What's Cooking. I hope I did that right. Anyway, I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. It's good. I love watching it. It's a good laugh. You learn a lot and some good food. So keep it up, my friend. Thumbs up.
Praise Him. It's that time where we draw from the well of well wishes. If you've watched our show any length of time, you know that we have a well of well wishes that we ask our guest chefs to draw from, as opposed to pitching in, to draw from, that we be able to bless your home from our kitchen. So, Chef, it's that time. Would you mind drawing from the well, please?
Sure. Thank you. Silence unites us to God Himself. Jerry Scazzaro.
How does that speak to you?
I think it speaks to me in that how important my relationship with God is, that it's about me and God. And, you know, I don't have to, like, I guess, prove it to anyone else or, you know, show off or anything like that. And there's a place for that where you want to minister, but ultimately the most important time for me is the time that I spent quietly with God, you know, in the morning, especially in the morning, which is, you know, when I guess my mind is most steady and most calm. But just throughout the day, you know, my mom is a prayer warrior. She prays about everything, parking spot, you know, like us getting into college, our marriage, like me and my brother, that, you know, we get married to the right people. You know, she's always in a silent relationship with God, and I feel like that is something that, you know, like she's really instilled into me, and, you know, thankfully her prayers have really been answered in many ways. And that's what, yeah, this is a really great message for me and our household for sure, just how important the relationship between us and God is the most important one out of any relationship at all.
Wow. We hope that that's blessed you and your home.
My name is Michelle Stoddard. I'm the VP of Community Development for Resorts World. And you're watching What's Cookin' with Raleighall.
You smell that?
I sure do. I think it's ready.
Oh, I know it's ready. It's smelling like Christmas up in here, y'all. Let's check it out, Jen. Whoa!
Smells really good.
Woo! Listen, I know it's the middle of March, but this smells like December on Christmas Day. And don't rule out Thanksgiving too, y'all. So this is something you can make all year round for sure.
So this is the color that you want. It's like a golden brown, like medium to dark. And again, like the sugar is the granulated sugar alone, so you're able to tell the color that it baked.
Wow. Whoa, Chef. Well, I gotta...
Wait, hold up. One more thing, Chef.
Oh.
You know, we always eat with our eyes first. There's one finishing touch, and I want you to do the honors.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. So here's the sifter.
Okay.
Here's a little bit of confectioner sugar. All right, and we're just gonna go around. All right. Just give it a little jazz.
Hey, y'all, I'm taking on a new level. I'm a pastry chef. What?
Good job. Looks
Thank
great.
you. And it's smelling again like Christmas Day, y'all. And this is the snow. What?
And now we're ready to eat. Okay, here we go.
Oh! It's that time, my favorite part of the show. Wash your hands, grab a seat, bless the food. It's time to eat. Come on, Chef. That's what's cooking.
So here we have some fresh whipped cream.
Okay.
It's also really, really good with ice cream, as most things are. And we're ready to go.
Well, I'm ready to go get me another can of Haagen-Dazs for sure.
Yep, that would be amazing.
But believe it right now, this here whipped cream is, oh! Cheers.
Oh, sorry.
I tell you, that's my chef. Chef Kim. Boy, she couldn't wait to get into her food, couldn't she?
Sorry.
Well,
it smells
it's
so good.
never too late. It does smell good, y'all. Man, now that was cooking. It is nothing better than having this on a daily basis, but best of all on the holidays. Really easy. And that is amazing.
Yeah.
The crust, the dough is like really just a little bit above paper thin. So it just adds a nice little body to it. It's not heavy with the dough. And the fresh fruit, the blueberries, the apples, it's just wonderful. The apples taste like they're right out of the orchard. What kind of apples are those?
Galette apples.
Galette apples, okay. And then the sugar is just like the icing on the cake. But nothing better than ice cream too. But this here is working. Listen, so how do we get in touch with you, Chef?
You can find me on LinkedIn at Jen Kim. Also, I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. Well, it's been a privilege, I must say.
Thank you.
Hands down, you've brought not just the flavor, but the smell to the place that is like a holiday. And believe you me, it's like every day you want to have such joy and presence of Christmas in your home. And that's what we are hoping that you receive. Once you get this recipe, what? Can't do without it. Well, thank you so much, Chef Kim. I've just been so blessed by you and all that you've done. So until next time, let's let them know what's cooking.
It's Women's History Month, and you're watching What's Cooking with Raleighall.
To reserve your copy of the What's Cooking theme song, subscribe, comment, and request on either What's Cooking Facebook or YouTube channels. All rights reserved for Hallmarks Music Incorporated. What's Cooking kitchenware provided by Fadeaway Apparel. What's Cooking would like to thank the courtesies of Bed Bath & Beyond, Store 467, and the courtesies of Key Food Fresh, Jamaica, Queens.